How's it going, everybody? You got the Razman coming at you with another episode of the Razman's Reality. As today it's time for this week's WWE NXT review for February the 3rd, 2016. Opening match saw the Hype Bros go down to the Vaudevillians. The Vaudevillians returning to what brought them to the dance. No goofiness, no silliness, just straightforward kicking butt action. So I guess that's what all those video promos have been about. It's nice to see. Vaudevillains are one of my favorite NXT tag teams, as opposed to their opponents, the Hype Bros, who are my least favorite NXT tag team. Still very fearful about the Vaudevillains getting over when they get moved to Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views, but we'll have to wait and see what happens when that time comes. Lord knows they deserve it. But in any case, an okay match, but because I just can't stand Mojo Rawley, I'm sorry, I just can't. I give it a 2.5 out of 5 star rating. Next up, we saw a very good match between the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship, Carmella, and Emma. It's easy to forget how good Emma is because of her struggles when she was on Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views. But since she's went back down to NXT and revamped into a more serious persona, she's shown just how good she is. She, of course, had that amazing match with Paige a couple of years ago when they were on their way to crowning the first NXT Women's Champion in that title match. And Carmella can really go. You don't often see much of Carmella as far as lengthy matches are concerned. She always quickly defeats her opponent. So I was really impressed by her, and I can see why they named her the number one contender. And I think her friendship with Bayley and a potential betrayal storyline that could come out of that, and what we've seen off Breaking Ground, could only be a bonus. So really enjoyed this one match. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Next up, we saw the definition of a jobber match as NXT standouts Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, otherwise known as Team Soft, got a victory over what is literally being labeled as local competitors. I thought I was having memory issues and just couldn't remember these guys' names, but nope. The results on the website that I always read over just to refresh my memory, because I can't often do reviews until the next day. Pretty much every time I do a review, it's not till the next day, and literally these guys are labeled as local competitors. So of course Enzo and Cass get the victory here, remain looking strong, and Dash and Dawson earlier on in the show accepted another challenge from Enzo and Cass if they want one. So hopefully Enzo and Cass finally get the NXT Tag Team Championship or get a chance to move up. But I'll give this a 2 out of 5 stars, because what are you going to get from a jobber match except for one team looking strong over the other? Next up, Asuka defeated Santana Garrett. Just as I said last week about a few of the competitors, I haven't seen enough of Santana Garrett to judge what kind of talent she is. This was a showcase match, or a jobber match, if you want to use that term, once again for Asuka. Asuka gets the victory here, looking very strong. But I did see some good things out of Garrett, what little offense they allowed her to show in the match. So I will give this one a solid 3 out of 5 stars. Next up was William Regal's decision off of last week, which was, surprisingly in my mind, not a triple threat match announced between Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Sami Zayn for the NXT Championship, but rather just a one-on-one number one contenders rematch between Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe. Really looking forward to that match when that match goes down. We'll have to wait and see what happens as a result of it. And in the main event, in a battle for pride because Baron Corbin ruined the first match, Apollo Crews gets his non-title one-on-one matchup against the NXT champion Finn Balor. Absolutely amazing matchup. Really showed the talents of both of these guys. An absolute classic of a match, in my opinion. 4 out of 5. If you don't watch this week's episode of NXT for anything else, watch it for this match between Apollo Crews and Finn Balor. Tremendous showing, and Finn Balor gets the victory in this match, even going so far as to hit the coup de grace onto more of the neck and back of Apollo Crews, and actually having to pick up Apollo and hit a version of the Brainbuster to get the 1-2-3. So a new wrinkle from Finn in this match, and even hitting the finishing sequence Apollo did that he normally uses to win the match, only to not gain victory. So a really strong match. 5 out of 5. And the one thing I forgot to mention was they announced that the NXT Women's Championship match between Carmella and Bayley is next week on NXT. So let me know what you thought of the show down below in the comment section. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.